It's fine.
Oh, you went live? This is live?
It's live.
Live.
Yeah, you
Live.
So we up on all those socials too?
Yep.
So we're ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, we're live.
Do you have it up on yours?
Yeah, just pull
Dude,
it up.
check that out. All right, here we go. I'm about to count us in. Like we always do.
Yeah, dude, you have to be
know.
on today, dude. This
I
is
know.
a live
It's crazy.
podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond podcast. Today is live here at Apollo HQ. Brian Lalima, Apollo Dez, producer Josh behind the camera, making it all happen. Astros 7-3 during their 10-game home span. Now they are in Oakland to open up a series against the Oakland Athletics as we record this on Friday. Well, never mind. Just kidding. It's live. See, I'm just tuned in as if we were doing a podcast.
I mean, people can
recorded
watch
podcast.
the recording.
Right. That's
version,
true.
So
Yeah.
technically it is Friday.
Today is Friday. It's the Friday before Memorial Day. So you got 3 in Oakland, and then you turn around and a 4-gamer up in Seattle. 7-3, man. What
You
they
take
needed
it.
to get done. Tough series loss to the Angels. Tough game, 2-1 in the rubber match. However, still pretty good in 10 games, 7-3.
Yeah, you take it. I mean, at the end of the day, the Astros had to find a way to get back into it, and they did. The division leaders, the Rangers and Mariners, decided to keep losing as we win. And so
Rangers got their ass whooped.
Yeah.
Dude, the Phillies are so freaking good.
Phillies are a problem.
They're
The
such a
Phillies are-
problem. Rangers Suarez is 9-0.
Have you I
And
saw
oh,
a
by the way, they
tweet.
got Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nolan on their team too,
Yeah,
and their staff.
like the thing with the Phillies is like every starter's going 7, every starter's punching out 10. I'm like, are they going to sustain that in September, October,
Yeah.
then be gas?
Yeah.
Maybe, but like right now, I think they have a 6.5 game lead on the Braves.
Yeah.
It was like the first time the Braves have been down in the NL East
Are they
for like 651 days. Like
Are they
this far down.
36-14, 37-14?
They're a lot and a lot.
Yeah.
a lot and a
No,
little.
a lot and a little.
A lot and a little.
Yeah. You know, they have like everybody back from that World Series team in 2022 except for Rhys Hoskins. And Rhys Hoskins is like, whatever. We don't need him.
Well, I honestly felt like the Phillies were going to be like the Royals of past. Like, obviously, they lost to the Astros in the 22 World Series. I was like, oh, if we don't repeat, they're going to get it in 23.
Yeah.
And then they just had the perfect opportunity. Diamondbacks go and punch them in the mouth.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, they're on a mission. So,
Yeah.
hey,
They
maybe it's a little 22 repeat this year. I don't know.
They beat the brakes off the Rangers. And then Seattle Mariners scrounged a couple of wins up in New York, but they split that series 2 apiece. So the division still, even though the Astros are 22-28, is wide open. Isn't that crazy? All the panic,
There's
the doom and
never a
gloom.
doubt over here,
Stop
dude.
it. Stop
There's
it.
never a doubt.
Stop it.
There's never a doubt. I got
I know we're
criticized
live
on the
today.
internet.
Stop.
I got just, oh, you're a homer. Oh,
What you're saying right now.
You said it a million times. You don't believe that?
You don't believe
You don't
that.
believe
What you're
that?
saying right now. You
We should
see
put down the
live, and
shirt.
now all of a
We should put that
sudden,
shirt.
no,
You
you
don't
don't
believe
believe
that?
what you're saying.
I've
Stop
been
it.
saying open Louisiana Street, baby, closer down. World Series is back on.
You have been saying that. Contact the new mayor, John Whitmire, and tell him
Louisiana
to block
Street.
it off Louisiana Street. Yeah, I've heard that. Did you hear that on the radio at all?
Sports Talk 790,
Yeah, you did.
6 to 10.
There you go.
The Brian Lima, Sean Salisbury
Yeah,
show.
yeah, good plug right there.
Say, hey,
Uh,
Alexa, play Sports Talk Radio.
Sports Talk 790
Yeah, that.
on your iHeartRadio app. So, but either way, there was no panic in you at all.
I had
No concern?
Okay,
Did
there
you
was
have
there was
concern?
concern. 100%.
And
There's
take
still
out the-
concern.
Take
There's
out
still
the
concern. We're not 500,
right. They're 22-28. You're still 6 games below 500.
but the thing is, why would I panic?
You shouldn't
With-
panic, but
no.
there's got to be concern.
There was concern. 100%.
Yeah,
There
for
still
sure.
is. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
dropping the series against the Angels, like in last place, like
Uh-huh.
you shouldn't. But you had an entire rotation on the IL.
Uh-huh.
You had every kid that was pitching in Sugarland up for the show for a cup of coffee to go maybe get 3 innings. Then you had your bullpen overused and taxed. And you just had this like compound effect
Yeah.
of bad baseball. And then you had not good offense.
Mhm.
You didn't have
Well, you were leaving runners in scoring position.
so, but at the end of the day, when you looked at the like stats, like the Astros led in what
They lead in average.
OPS.
Oh, look at that.
OPS,
Oh, what they lead the league
all-
in?
an
They're leading
OPS.
in they're leading in
I'll give you
average.
batting average.
They're leading in
100%.
hits. And
Oh.
I believe they're leading in OPS. What was the first one though?
Okay, I said average because I was going alphabetical.
Producer
order.
Josh, what were they leading the league in?
That would be batting average.
Batting average. Oh, okay.
OPS
Yeah, I thought so.
is better.
Okay.
But
Right. Just wanted to clarify.
I was just saying the peripherals weren't bad. We knew that, like, okay, once our rotation gets back of people that are tenured major league starters,
Uh-huh.
they're going to be just fine, because then that helps out the bullpen, and the bullpen can finally catch their breath, and
Yep.
then the offense was always going to come around. So I wasn't ever panicked. I was concerned for sure, because like we've been spoiled here. Like we haven't
Yeah.
lost. And so now we have this opportunity where we almost hit not the panic button, but a reset button. And it allows us to just go. And now you have an opportunity to go into Oakland, take care of business. You don't play with your food, go beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And then next week you have all roads lead to this matchup. And I said, if we can be 2 games above the division lead or below, like if you're chasing 2, leaving that Seattle series, you take that. And I think going into June, if you asked any Astro fan when they were 7-17, hey, would you take this? Would you take this in June 1st being 2 games back or 1 game back or 1 game up or 2 games up? You say yes in a heartbeat. And now you have the opportunity to actually do that.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And it all starts this evening in Oakland with Justin Verlander on the mound. Hopefully they don't see Mason Miller.
Oh, no. I think he pitched like 10 innings yesterday, right? Oh, hold on. This is like watching man walk on the moon. Mason Miller gave up an earned run yesterday
Did he finally?
on an infield single to short, deep
Oh.
short. I'm gonna try to pull. They were in a marathon game with the Rockies. I think they each scored like 8 runs the 11th.
That's like a
Total,
Thanos,
but-
like all that for a drop of blood.
Yeah.
Infield
So-
single.
Mason Miller may be down tonight and tomorrow. So you take care of business, avoid
That's
Mason
huge.
Miller. Like,
How many innings did he
I'm
throw?
pulling it up, dude. I'm pulling
Oh,
it up. It's a
wow.
live show.
You mean you actually have that laptop
chat?
on?
Yeah, I do.
You
What's
do?
up, chat? If you are on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, drop your questions. See what you want to
got
talk about.
We got some Instagram. We got an Instagram question that I thought was.
Thank you for
interesting.
all tuning in to our first live show. This is how this is pulling the curtain back. This is how the sausage is made. Like,
Okay.
what?
That-
That's
yes,
insane, dude.
I mean, we go live one time and all of a sudden
I'm
this
just-
is how
we're
the
just-
sausage is made.
We're just showing everyone, like,
What are we, chefs in the kitchen?
yeah, dude,
We're cooking, dude.
we're cooking.
Okay.
That's what the
Do
kids
y'all
are saying.
think?
On
Question from
God.
Andrew D. Moore.
Uh-huh.
Do y'all think Framber going off the game plan affected his relationship with Diaz?
No,
No, I think
I don't think so.
They're professionals, I think.
Yeah, you have to continue the professional relationship. Look, man, Framber going rogue. It is what it is now. Obviously, it was pretty eye-opening then. Dana Brown said it last week on our show on the radio that it was already addressed probably either the morning of or the afternoon of after that thing happened. I'm sure there was a conversation with Joe Espada, Yainer Diaz, and Framber Valdez all together. Look, it is what it is. It happened. Learn from it. Adjust. And honestly, tell Framber Valdez, don't do that shit again.
yeah.
But as far as like catcher-pitcher relationship, teammate relationship, no, I don't think it affected it.
I mean, he's gonna
Hopefully
have
it helps it.
he's gonna have a heavy fine in Kangaroo Court. I mean, with
Yeah,
the boys, when
as
the
he
boys,
should.
The boys close the locker room.
Oh, yeah,
that
for sure.
Fine in Kangaroo
Yep.
Court's gonna be pretty big. But Mason Miller, real quick, inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned,
Wow.
1 strikeout.
He actually gave up
Elevated his
3
ERA
hits?
to 2.05.
Damn.
But friend of the program, Brandon Belak, first win of the season.
Oh, good for him.
Did he started that game?
No, he was the pitcher in the. He threw a third of the inning in the 11th. And got a dub. So
good
Mason Miller's probably down till Sunday.
Damn, man. He actually
that's
gave
it.
up a couple hits.
Yeah. So
He's nasty.
All right.
all eyes shift. Obviously, Verlander's starting in Oakland. The guy just wins on the road for Houston. Like
Yeah.
I think I saw the stat where he's like I think he has 10 career losses in his tenure in Houston on the road during the regular
wild.
season. So that's all you can ask for. And you get Blanco back. He throws
Yeah,
Sunday.
Yeah.
Against the team that ratted him out. So kind of poetic. I hope he shoves
Yeah.
here on Sunday because it's a big series. Get him going. I think Ukiti throws a night.
Yeah, he does in Sugar Land. Yep, Sugar Land,
So we could possibly have
Well, and then there's
him back in Seattle.
and then
Yeah,
there's
Seattle
also
series.
the possibility of Jose Abreu getting some at bats with Sugar Land this weekend.
All right, chat.
So, you
chat.
know,
Chat.
we
I
already
just need
got-
to know. We
already have a question.
We got a
on
question.
YouTube.
We got a question from Austin Wingard. Who is getting sit down with that bum ass Jose Abreu coming up?
It's going to come down to what? Greg Kessinger or Joey
Joey.
Loperfido?
I just. Oh my gosh.
You want to dig into this? We talked about it this morning on the radio.
Okay. Last Beyond the Diamond, I said you can grow in the show, And I think
Mhm.
you can, and I understand the argument of if Lou Perfito goes down, it's like, hey, he'll be able.
It's low Perfito.
That's what I said, Lou Perfito. You can get him all his reps and get him what Major League Baseball does with the young prospects of getting him run, getting all the at bats,
experience.
getting time where
Mhm.
he's not on the bench. I think he can grow in the show and you keep him up because one, he's your fourth outfielder.
Yep.
Two, I think him learning. I mean, him and Breggy have their own little dance already, and they're on Instagram, back and forth on their stories post game. I think that's a guy you keep up because he gives you so much athleticism on the bench where he can run, he could defensive replacement, he can hit. Like you can do so much. Where Gray's been up and we just haven't been able to use him because he's kind of in the Dubon role where he could play everywhere in the infield.
He's just
but Dubon's the first one to
blanket.
go. And if Dubon's sitting for Breggs or Penny or Altuve, you're going to sub in Kessinger over those three on the bench. Like, so it's just kind of a weird shuffle with Jose Abreu coming up. So I just don't think
Low Perfito.
I don't think it's the right move.
I wouldn't send Low Perfito down. Unfortunately, it's Greg Kessinger for me.
Yeah.
I think Low Perfito is going to benefit more from being up at the big league level. And of course, you can make the case, well, don't you want him to have at-bats consistently? Yeah, you can send him back down there, and he can hit more bombs in AAA, but what is that going to accomplish outside of just getting your typical reps?
Yeah, how does it help us win games now?
I have a better solution for this whole situation. Is you send Jose Abreu to AA, and I'm being dead serious here.
I'm listening.
I'm not trying to be a hot take guy at all. You send him to a week with Corpus, a week with Sugarland, and then you bring him back up for the next homestand when they get back and they host the Minnesota Twins, and you don't start him until that Sunday game. Because as of right now, John Singleton has earned this. John Singleton's at-bats have gotten better.
Yeah, 100%.
I think everybody can agree
He's
on
played
that.
at an above replacement level.
And his defense is much better than Jose Abreu's. So I would say, what's the rush here? Why bring him up this quick and then insert him right back in the lineup?
Well, yeah. So the way it's playing out,
and if they insert him in the lineup, he's going to have to. Here you go, Jose Abreu. You just came back from the complex league. You had a couple at bats with Sugarland. Good luck against the Mariners.
No, I think
one of the best
pitching
pitching staffs in baseball.
I think it's disingenuous to bring Jose Abreu back and insert him in the lineup against the Seattle Mariners. Everyone that's been following us, I've had to wear it because I said Seattle was a problem. But I do think they have the best pitching staff.
They have one of the best right now.
Major League Baseball.
Outside of the Phillies and a couple others,
and
the Mariners are right there.
You roll Abreu out against guys throwing 99, 101, and it's moving sideways. It's kind of disingenuous. It's setting everyone up for failure. It's setting the fans up for failure. It's setting him up for failure. And granted, he can come out, find some barrels, and rock. I feel a safe, soft landing spot is that Minnesota home series next weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so we can agree on that.
No, I think so. But it feels like there was a handshake deal under the table of like, hey, I will go down to West Palm and I will get my work into my reset. That's fine. But I'm only going to be down there a month because we're at a month timeline right here. So it definitely feels with all this kind of coming to a head, it definitely feels like there was a handshake deal underneath the table. Like, hey, I'll do this for you, for us, for the team, for everyone. But I'm only going to do it for a month. It's not going to be Pedro Baez who's just down there for 6 months getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I like that. Maybe it's like you set a hard deadline and you got to go. And maybe it's like everyone watching, everyone has, jobs and everyone that has to report to a boss or whoever it is. And hey, we have a deadline. We have to hit this deadline.
Yeah.
And you either get the job done or you don't. And maybe that's good. So, and then I don't know. I'm kind of.
But then also, like, with this experiment, if you will, of sending him down to the complex league in West Palm Beach, you're going to have to give him some at-bats to see if it works.
1,000%. 1,000%.
And $19.5 million says so. You're going to have to give him some type of run, but I just don't know what that's going to do for the consistency that we've seen for the most part with John Singleton playing first. And outside of all the shit that I give you guys about Jake Myers has played extremely well out in center field.
Hold
now
on, hold the phone.
but now
Hold
you
the
brought-
phone. Give me that clip. Someone clip that.
Now-
Someone clip that. Say it again. I
Now
want that
you
dirty little
brought-
mouth to say it
Now
again.
Chaz McCormick comes back from the IL and he gets automatically inserted into the lineup. So that's going to screw up a little consistency. At-bats are going to be taken away from others.
What'd you say about Jake Myers?
Nothing, dude. Roll the tape. Maybe pay attention.
Speaking of that, we have a question from Dante Riddick. Can Jake keep up this torrid pace?
Look, yes, 100% yes. This is Jake Myers. This is the Jake Myers we saw before he tried to rob a home run and tore up his shoulder. Labrum injuries take 2 years. We're at the 2-year mark. And if I'm not saying Jake Myers is going to be Mike Trout, the way, if you go look at his numbers, he's playing at a Mike Trout level. His baseball savant is all red. His outlier numbers are great. Everything
Okay,
was good.
bro, we get it.
But I'm just saying,
Meat Rider.
I am
I'm
saying,
just kidding.
you have a guy that can lock down center field now, and you don't have to worry about that. You can worry about other positions.
I wouldn't say lockdown. I wouldn't say
What?
I wouldn't say lockdown.
What are we doing here?
I wouldn't say lockdown.
What do we
Right
do?
now.
All right, everyone in chat, everyone watching on Twitter, Instagram, or what else are on YouTube?
Yes.
1, if you want Jake Myers in the lineup every day. 2, you want him platoon. I just want to know where the people are at.
Oh,
Just
you
one
can
or
ask
two.
me. You can ask me.
I don't know where to ask you.
Why don't
anymore.
you ask me? Why are we asking chat? Why don't
Because
you
I
ask your
trust
co-host?
chat. What do you want?
We're co-hosts, correct?
What do you want?
As of right now,
What do you want?
the way that Jake Myers has swung it, Jake Myers should be in the lineup. That was
Clip
never
it,
my.
clip it. That's all I wanted.
That was
That's all I wanted.
never-
Clip it.
That was never
Clip
the
it.
argument. We tried to tell you that, but for whatever the perm got to your head and you couldn't
See,
listen.
now you're getting. You're
Josh,
you're-
did I not say
you're
that? Did I ever
projecting
say that
me,
Jake Myers
you're
should never
lashing
play?
out on me.
The argument was playing time between Dubon and Myers.
Did I say that Jake Myers should never play though?
No, you
No, I
say
did not.
that.
Thank you. That's all. They clipped that.
But if you wanted
you did
Dubon
say
to start,
Dubon
that
should-
means he's not playing.
Yeah.
Say that again. Sorry, I was
If you-
listening to Josh.
If you want Dubon to start, that means Jake
Yeah.
Myers isn't playing. In that scenario.
In that scenario, okay.
That's why I am saying Jake Myers should start,
Yeah.
and you're saying Dubon should not. We're not saying right now. This was 2 weeks ago. Like,
Yes.
This is everyone tuning in now. This was like a 2 week ago conversation. When you were saying
this was before his hot.
this is
torrid
before
phase.
the yes. Before
Now,
the
I
hot
mean,
streak.
look, man, the
No,
production's
I agree.
there.
I agree.
So the production is there. So you need more Jake Myers.
yes,
Yes, right now, yes.
I mean, for the rest of the season, but yes.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But and also to that point, well, now that Chaz is back, you're not going to see that.
No, I think no. This is the. I think Chaz is in left with Joey as your fourth outfielder.
Mhm.
Jake is every day in center field,
And then and Dubon's just your
and your
platoon guy?
MVP, and now Dubon is now your infield platoon guy, or even
Outfield.
giving a guy a break.
Dubon's
Outfield.
greatest strength is being a utility guy.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Dubon being able to. I know a lot of people are like, hey, we want Dubon at first, or in the outfield, whatever it is. I think his greatest asset is being able to give guys days off,
Yep.
can play anywhere, and come off the bench late to be a glove or a bat.
Yep.
When you cement him in that spot, you take away that kind of flexibility that you need over 162. Now in a playoff series, short series, whatever it is, you have to get whoever's hot. But over 162, he is what Diaz was before we let him walk to Oakland, and everyone thought it was going to be David Hensley. David Hensley
Yeah.
was going to be the heir apparent to the super utility role.
He was Marwin Gonzalez.
Dubon is now the Marwin
He's
Diaz
Marwin. Yeah.
mold that we've had over
Yeah.
the last.
But you
8-9
can also
years.
see where the more success he has in that role, the more people are going to clamor for him to be in the starting lineup every single day.
That's a good problem. If Joe Espada every day has to go to Minute Maid Park or on the road, and he has to figure out how do I get these 6 guys in these 3 spots in the lineup, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And I know everyone. I think we have actually had moneyballed Springer since he's left
Mhm.
in the aggregate, and it's still continuing with Jake and Chaz and Joey and Dubon. But right now, you have a guy that's a solid center fielder, and you have an MVP in right field that we need to talk about because no one else in the league is talking about him. Kyle Tucker probably got another $100 million over the last 2 months of what he's been able to do. Day in and day out. He's at a 3.5 WAR, and we're not even in June. We're looking at levels of if this was Ohtani, Major League Baseball would be throwing a parade right now.
What did you see? Mad Dog Chris Russo's top 5 player in baseball list right now.
It was Ohtani, Betts, Trout.
It was all Yankees and Dodgers.
Yeah, Tony Betts, Soto, Judge,
And you go
I
look
think
at
he put Seager as the 5th.
and Corey Seager is the 5th. You go look at Kyle Tucker's number; they're better than 80% of those guys. But so to back up that point is if this was Ohtani or if this was somebody else that played for the Dodgers, Red Sox, or Yankees, people would be going berserk. But since it's at the Astros, Kyle Tucker doesn't get the even though I did see, I think it was MLB Network had him as the quarter of the season MVP.
Yeah,
because of what he's done so far.
It's crazy because
a lot of twos up there.
A lot of twos. For your question. There is a lot of twos in there. That's crazy. That's a lot of twos. I think with Kyle Tucker in the 2-hole, you essentially got the production of Michael Brantley plus Kyle Tucker's MVP. Him in the 2-holes just been insanely video game-esque type play. And I think we're going to start seeing the teams pitch around him.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Kyle I think he's leading the first time in his career. He has more walks and strikeouts at this point in his run.
Well, he's already like half of his walks from last season.
Yeah. So he's seeing the ball well.
We're a quarter way through the season.
You're going to have to pitch to the big guy now. Yep. And you know what? If you're pitching around Tucker, he's going to swipe second and he's probably going to swipe third on your ass too. So honestly, he may be at a 30-30 rate by the All-Star break. Crazy as it is, he just needs 13 more home runs.
He at a 50-30 rate.
I think
he was on pace at one point to hit 55 home runs.
Yeah, you're really looking at an all-time type year.
Well, then it's going to beg the question: when are they going to get him a damn offer?
I think 225 could have got the deal done a year ago. You're looking at 300 now.
Not now.
You're looking at 8/3, 7/3. Like
it'll be 8/3.
In
my opinion,
I tweeted this to on Twitter or X, whatever. You won on the Yordan extension. You fumbled the Kyle Tucker back.
Mm-hmm.
You pay Kyle Tucker. You take the average of those two. You're winning.
Yeah.
So if you overpay Kyle Tucker, front office overpay whatever, what's $100 million to a billionaire? It's kind of a bar, but you win when you just do the math of adding it, divide by 2, you won, and now you lock in Altuve, Tucker, Yordan for the next 7-8 years. Hey, you still have Pena with like before arbitration. You have Diaz.
Pena is up for he's not a free agent until 2028.
Yeah, so you have a new core.
You have to have
right there.
So that's the discussion that always gets brought up, right? So it's Alex Bregman is in a contract year and he is struggling. Kyle Tucker is playing out of his mind right now, but he's still got another year of arbitration after this, right? No. So then people say, well, do you try to bring Bregman back or you let him walk? And then, of course, the trade talk is always going to happen regardless about players. But looking ahead, looking forward, you're going to have Verlander fall off the books. You're going to have Jose Abreu fall off the books. You're going to have Montero fall off the books. Josh Hader is locked up for, 4 years, right? Did they get him for 4 or 5?
Five total, 4.
Right.
So 4 after this year.
So Ryan Presley probably falls off the books there too, right? So there's money that's going to be freed up.
You're going to have a surplus, yeah.
You're going to have surplus. So if you have Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, you'll have hopefully Loperfido continues to hit like this. You'll still have Chas McCormick. You'll still have Jake Myers. You have Yainer Diaz. You got your catcher of the future. You have Jeremy Pena, who is completely turned around from last year. Quiet in the hands has done wonders for him. He can hit anywhere in your lineup. You still have a very good core. Your Fromber's probably not going to be around. Let's call it like it is. I firmly believe that he will not be an Astro after this. So he's going to fall off the books. You still got Christian Javier. You got Jose Urquidy. You got Ronel Blanco, even though he's a little bit up in age. He still pitched his ass off. And then you got Spencer Arrighetti, who's grinding his ass off, right? So you have
Hunter.
You'll have Hunter Brown.
Luis. You'll have Lance.
That's what I'm saying, right?
You have arm.
That's still a very good core. And then you can piece it in.
Yeah, then you have money to get. You just got then the hard conversations is who you spend money on in free agency
right.
to win.
So the window to win, like we always talk about, is still there. But a big piece of that core that we just mentioned is Kyle Tucker. I'm not a big believer in 10-year contracts. It's just shown in history of bad things that have happened to organizations with 10-year contracts. Albert Pujols is one of them, right?
Look at the Javi Baez one right now. Look at
Javi Baez.
Look at the Lindor one. I mean, Lindor's obviously done good, but nothing close to what he did in Cleveland or whatever it is.
Right. So I'm not a big believer in 10-year contracts, but if you can get Kyle Tucker for 7 years, 8 years,
and you know what? Maybe defer half that on
your
the backside.
My whole point is your core is still there
for sure, and I think with Kyle Tucker, we're just saying that the media should be throwing a parade, like if he was in pinstripes or if he was in Dodger blue, and that's not Tucker. Tucker, I mean, we've had him on the pod a bunch of times, and we've talked to him about it. We're like, hey, you need to get the pimp chains, you need to do the gold chains, you got to do all this stuff, and that's just not him. He's just a guy being a dude out there, and I think
that's another thing. Like, people take his demeanor and like his kind of, not high energy, like kind of just go with the flow type. Yeah. They take that as like, oh, Kyle Tucker don't want to be here. Dude, that's Kyle Tucker. That's him.
That's just Tuck.
That's been him since the day that he was called up. And we've been fortunate to be around him on a personal level. And that's literally just him. Yeah. That's just who he is.
I think we're spoiled. Obviously, like, it's kind of, shout out to Hefe, Mr. Lunau, like, he's hit on a lot. I know there's the mythical creature Forrest Whitley that people like, oh, is he ever gonna do something? Obviously, he was up, he got banged again with his arm. But Tucker was one of the guys that Jeff was like, I'm not moving him for anything.
Yeah, he was untouchable.
And there was I think it was the Chris Archer trade. It was like Tuck there was like 5 major league guys that we had for Chris, like a year and a half of Chris Archer. That almost happened.
I mean, that's what separated the Astros from other teams that have made those trades and then fallen off.
Yeah. And I also think Tuck and his camp know that an offer is going to come that's going to be way more than what we've seen Crane have floated or thrown out. I mean, and I think they're okay with it. Yeah, I think they're okay with this pace.
Yeah, you got to. And then I think just another thing on the Kyle Tucker situation is you have to remember too, which I know we all know this, but Crane has never given out anything longer than a 6-year contract, right? Has 6 been his longest?
If there was ever
Yordan's contract, I think is long. Yordan and Bregman's was 5.
Bregman was a 5-year extension.
Yordan's was 6.
I think that if there's ever anyone to be the exception of the rule, it's Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I mean the ones he's given the exception of the rule is Yordan and Altuve. I mean, Tucker fits right in that mold.
Like, and I think you can lock up. I think you can lock up Pena and Diaz on deals too, early. I mean, just the ARB section. Obviously, that's getting in the weeds of it all. But
yeah,
I feel good where the Astros are in 2024. Now, you're chasing 1.5 behind South Oklahoma, and you're only chasing 3.5 or 4.5, 4.5 against Seattle, with 4 looming there.
Mm-hmm.
You take that.
Yeah, currently 4.5 beyond Seattle.
It's May 24th, and you take that. Look, the sky was falling. Everyone was upset. We're upset. It wasn't good. But, yes, they dug themselves a hole. Yes, they did all this stuff. Take that all the way. You're one good week from leading the AL West and not looking back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you said that, I think, 2 weeks ago on the show or a week ago. I remember you saying you would be happy if they left the Seattle series within 2 games.
2 games, yeah, he did.
And they are well in shot of that.
Yeah.
They can lead the Seattle series tied or ahead, depending on how it goes.
Who do the Rangers and Mariners have this weekend?
The Rangers
have the Nationals.
The Rangers play the Twins.
Oh, yeah. They're facing Obear tonight.
Yeah, and then the Mariners play the Nationals.
Okay. So yeah, take care of business against Oakland. You can't overlook them. Obviously, I think the Astros didn't overlook the Angels. I think the whole Framber thing just kind of threw a wrench in it. The way I view this last week, and obviously a 7-3 homestand is great, especially where we were. You took a series against the first place Brewers 2-3, and then you lost to the Angels 2-3. Just flip flopping them, like, okay, if you're really that worked up about losing the series to the Angels, be like, okay, I took 2-3 against the Angels and I lost a series against the first place Brewers. I mean, it all evens out in the wash. Obviously, the Framber stuff sucks, but he pitched his ass off the week before, and he's just got to build off and stay focused. And there's a lot of stuff we could say about it, but if you want to lock down Louisiana Street and you want to throw another parade, Framber Valdez has to be Framber Valdez.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of growing up. That takes a lot of him getting dialed in and zeroed in. That takes a lot from everyone around. But if he gets going and gets rolling in this quality start tour that we saw in 2022, now you have Mr. Blanco back, who is wrongfully, unjust, like
Free Ronell.
suspended. You have Justin Verlander, who will battle his ass off. You're getting reinforcements with Jose, with Luis, with Lance. You have Spencer, who is he has that moxie on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
There's front end guys that just have that little fuck you trot to him. He's got that, and you can't teach that. You just got to be wired that way. I like that. Hunter Brown looks good in his last 3 starts. He has the sinker going. Obviously, he gave up 2 hits. One was a tank. He lost in the closeout game, the rubber
2-1.
game.
He pitched well, 6 innings.
In a start where we had no
Yeah.
bullpen, he had to go 6, and he got it done. If your 5th, 6th starter is going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, anyone in the league will take that. So you have him making adjustments that I see. I think Chandler wrote the first time he brought his sinker back since like right state, and man, I was at the game. He was collecting thumbs. He
Yeah,
was soft contact.
That's how he needs to be. He's been toying with a cutter this season. And it's been doing he's going the opposite way of how he should be attacking him.
Well, I just think that cutter slider fastball was all in that same window.
It's in the same plane.
And with the mile per hour being so
That's how he was
not
Similar.
balls.
so like if I got fooled on a cutter, but it was a slider, I'm still going to find a barrel.
Yeah.
And if I'm cheating to a slider and it's like actually cutter, I'm still going to be late, but I'm going to have hard contact. So it was kind of all that same.
Well,
now he's like, okay,
yeah.
if everyone's kind of like staying on across the plate on me, I'm going to bust you in now with a sinker.
No,
Good
get broken
luck.
bats and-
Good
yeah.
freaking luck. So hopefully he can build off that. And man,
that brings
it
to
gets
the
fun.
question somebody asked earlier. Sorry, I don't remember who it was. With Urquidy coming back, how does the rotation look moving forward? Does Brown
I think
go to
it's going to
bullpen?
be. I think it's going to dictate on how Hunter Brown looks this time around.
You think it's between him and Arrighetti and whoever pitches better in their next start?
So if they activate Urquidy, who's going to go down?
That's the question.
That's another question.
Parker.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
Mushinski.
Parker.
Okay. Yeah. He was just brought.
It's
brought
probably
up.
Parker, and
Even though he's pitched pretty well.
I think you can piggyback Spencer and Hunter. Either way, Hunter, Spencer, keep them both stretched out.
Or you could piggyback Urquidy and Hunter.
Yeah, I think whoever the swingman is
Uh-huh.
just going to piggyback.
It'll be between those 3.
Yeah. And obviously with Jose coming back, he looked great before his arm.
Yeah, he
dinged
looked
up.
great.
He looked
spring
really,
training.
really
He was-
good.
his
Yeah.
stuff was-
Obviously, I think he really focused on his lats and getting that strength back in his shoulders. And that's what he needs. Everyone knows he's going to fill up the zone with strikes. He's going to attack batters. And it's going to be fastball change. He's going to throw, the wrinkles. But what makes Jose Urquidy so good is his way of getting ahead of batters
Change up.
and really dominating the changeup. And it's been the year of the changeup for the Astros. I mean, look, everyone's throwing the damn changeup for them, and we're seeing positive results. So if they tweak something to his already nasty changeup, if the R&D really found something where they're like, hey guys, we're throwing changeups this year, kind of crazy that everything's going back to the changeup sinker after everything was like, we're going to try to throw it 101 and get rise on it. Now it's going,
The top rail.
it's going the other way.
Yeah.
But if R&D figured something out with, hey guys, changeups are in play, and you ready to get a guy that with a nasty changeup, I would like to see what that looks like. And you can't expect him to go out there and throw 7 innings his first start back. He's back into it. But I think the piggyback with that odd man out, whether that's Spencer or Hunter's done it before. I mean, he's been in that role, so maybe it's him.
Well,
and
just a couple outings ago, he came out of the bullpen and was
7
5
punches,
strong.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he looked good.
I don't know. I think once again, it's a good problem to have when you have all these guys back because we have the team.
Somebody in the chat just said Espada is Brian's daddy. Why am I catching a stray?
Good, dude. You deserve it.
What platform is that on, Josh?
It was YouTube.
Okay.
The little red thing.
Sosa. What does that say? Who?
Sosa, Lua King, Liu Kang.
Okay,
As spot as your daddy, dude.
I don't get it. But all right.
Before we get into some Q&A, if you want to tell them what we're doing next week during
yeah.
the Seattle series, where we might hopefully be taking the division.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're doing a 24-hour stream next
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, starting
So
at
next
7 p.m.
Wednesday At 7 p.m.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. We will be doing a 24-hour stream.
It's next Wednesday,
Is it
dude.
sure it's Wednesday?
Yep. Wednesday 8:40 game, and then Thursday 3 o'clock game.
We're doing our 5th annual weekly, monthly 24-hour stream. Dude, it makes sense. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be.
We'll be raising some money.
We're raising money for the Kyle Tucker Foundation and the Lance McCullers Jr. Foundation.
Nice.
Watching some ball games.
Watching ball. Obviously, we have the hockey. We'll have the NBA Eastern and Western Conference Finals. We'll obviously have the 2 Astro games and then gaming, everything in between. So that's gonna be a ton of fun. But before all that, I think we have to do we have Sweet Green Health Report today?
No.
We did on the last podcast?
Yeah, we did on the last one.
All right. So go, everyone, shout out Sweet Green, one of our sponsors. Go download their app. Use Apollo 50 to get 50% off your mobile order. So that's just a plug. 50% off in this economy, you know? Get you a little steak bowl, dude.
Where's that at? Sweet Green?
Sweet Green.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah, let's just go to the Q&A. Anyone have any questions on Twitter or on YouTube or on Instagram?
Yep.
Drop them in. We're coming up on 37 minutes, so we probably run for another 10.
Yeah, we'll do some Q&A and we'll get out of here.
We'll do Q&A and rock out. I mean, as the questions come in, what's your expectations going into the Oakland series?
I'm just like, I mean, I think they take 2 out of 3. I would like a sweep, but I don't know what my concern is, but
Yes.
I don't.
Woo!
Why?
Sosa. I don't know who Sosa is, but he's
that's
backing
your
me up.
buddy. It's got to be one of your buddies.
Probably. Sosa.
Brian did deserve a stray. What up, Dez? Looking good. Get off his dick,
Thank
Sosa.
you. Thank you, Sosa. Thank you.
I think for me, like I'm interested to see the Jose Abreu situation. I think they're going to go into Oakland. I think they take care of business, whether it's 2 out of 3 or sweep. Okay. But what's looming is what comes after that. And it's Jose Abreu coming back. It's like bringing Eeyore back to the team. Doom and gloom. What? We don't want to touch on that, or what?
No, I just.
Then why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just.
You scared to hit on that? You scared to touch on it?
This. I already said this is where I'm at with Jose Abreu.
GM Jeff Bagwell is going to make sure he's in the starting lineup. That's where I'm at.
I think it's disingenuous to bring him back against the Seattle Arms.
Well, I think it's
adapt or die.
I think it's disingenuous to bring him back this quick either way.
All right. Question from YouTube. From Albert. I'm not going to try and say that last name. Read it.
Have Dez do it.
Yeah, read that last
Can you
name.
read the question, dude?
I know he's been struggling.
It's Placencio. Albert Placencio.
Shouldn't we be much more afraid of losing Breggy?
You need contacts, dude?
No, I do, but I think they're kind of running out. Say that again. Sorry, Josh. Brian was interrupting me.
Shouldn't we be much more afraid of losing Breggy?
Oh, for sure. You cannot replace Alex Bregman. I mean,
Thank
that's
you guys. Appreciate it.
bless
Bless
you.
me.
Get
Thank
the
you.
demons out, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a live show. Have some class, dude.
Oh,
Have some class.
Thank you.
Have some mic etiquette.
oh okay. So
Have some microphone etiquette,
I
dude.
leaned to the right. God forbid I'm human.
Golly.
I can't sneeze on a
No,
show.
dude. You can't. Not on
Man.
this show.
Well,
Not on this show.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't replace Gary Bertier. That's how I view Alex Bregman. Like all the guy does is win. He's shown it time and time again, and obviously he's had a slow start, but he's gonna get it going. And obviously, hopefully, Uncle Crane and them make a competitive offer.
Do you think what percentage chance would you put it on that they could retain both Bregman and Tucker?
0.
0. I would say 10. 5 to
It's
10.
not happening.
I think less than 10, but greater than 0. But yeah,
Yeah, it's very slim.
0% chance.
I know. I'm very interested on the Scott Boras fallout.
You mean like for the guys that he was trying to get big time deals and they had to
Correct.
settle multiple, like
Correct.
Jordan Montgomery.
If it
Jordan Montgomery
happens-
fired Scott Boras. Put it to you that way.
Yeah, no. So I'd say that's a real data point.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to be an off-season discussion, but I think it's a real data point that we have to look at. And maybe you go like the LeBron route with contracts. Be like, hey, we'll give you a 2-year deal, give you
An opt-out. Yeah.
a franchise opt-out, because I know Crane doesn't like his opt-outs.
Mhm.
But hey, we'll front load 2-year deals with a lot of money. and then you can see what the market does. I really feel like these owners are kind of silently rallying together against Scott Boras and not letting him dictate the market. And I
Yeah.
think we all saw it play out with the arms this past year. And I mean, obviously Chapman, but
and how long it took.
yeah,
Yeah, but even Chapman didn't he only sign like a 3-year deal with an opt out?
It wasn't much for San Fran. Let me see, Chapman, San Fran.
Yeah,
but no,
I'm pretty sure-
I feel like the Breggy conversation goes through the offseason, but I think there's a real data point of what is not just for Bregman, what is Boras going to do for his clients this next year? Because let's face it, he got pants by the owners.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't think he's a man that likes to
lose?
like to lose
No, he
like
doesn't.
that. So it's going to be really interesting how that kind of plays out. The Chapman deal at San Francisco was guaranteed 3 for $54.
Yeah, 3 years.
Includes opt-outs after the first and second year.
That's all of his clients this offseason. They all signed it.
Yeah.
Cody Bellinger, Chapman, Jordan Montgomery, all
Snell.
of them got opt-outs after years 1 and 2.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Next question from Adi Sundar. Javier has been his best in years past when he has limited innings. Any chance he's a candidate for bullpen or to be a guy you pair with a long relief guy, especially with his velo being down recently?
So I think with Christian Javier, I mean, he spoke about it, and we spoke about it last year too. And again, his velocity, I think we've seen down is because of the mechanics. So whatever he's got going on with the neck has affected his mechanics. I think he'll work through that, but I don't believe that we would see him go to the bullpen. I don't see him as a guy that you pair with a long relief guy. It sounds great, and I think he's onto something with we've seen where he's pitched well on less innings, but I just think now where the rotation stands, I don't see him being a bullpen guy.
I think with all these arms, that's only going to benefit Javier in the sense that we'll probably see a little bit more 6-man rotations, and he'll get an extra day off. I think they'll keep Verlander on his normal 5-day, like in his routine, just because he's been doing it for 20-something years. But Javier being able to get days off when, weren't expected are only going to help him. I think the mechanics thing and the injury are a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's also just kind of a baseball thing. His bounce back on the recovery. That previous Friday night, granted, I didn't get to watch it because I was one of the million people that didn't have power.
Yeah.
He went and shoved against Oakland.
Well, that's 6 innings, I believe.
And I think a lot of it kind of happens with Javier, and I think he's getting his confidence back. That first inning against Oakland, he had a Rooker hit one foul, but onto the train tracks. Ends up punching him out after that inning and starts rolling. I feel like if something bad happens in the first inning, Javier gets kind of, oh my God, I gotta tighten it up, and then he just gets tightened up, and then everything kind of seems off. I think on your show when you had Dana Brown on 610 every Wednesday, Brian
9:30 every Wednesday 9:30 Sports Talk 790.
But you're on Monday through Friday.
Correct. We are on Monday through Friday 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Free
Dana,
radio app.
Dana
Sean
said.
Salisbury show.
Dana said. I think his
Brown.
mechanics were off on from his
from
his
the
load and to his arm. Like it was just a simple right, and then it was arm was dragging because we saw he was at 88 to 90. That doesn't play especially with Javier's fastball. So we get him back up to 92, 93 and get that run on it.
Yeah,
he'll be just fine. So I think the off days that are going to be sprinkled in are only going to help him, and obviously limit his innings. So I think that was a really good point.
All right, next question from Giselle Strong on Instagram. How do you feel about their performance when it comes to those extra inning games?
They're getting better.
Is it just a fluke or is it a strategy issue? You know what I'm saying? Dude,
I hate the Manfred man. Like it doesn't matter if the Astros were 10-0 in extra innings or not. When you put a free runner on, it's so gimmicky, so soft, slow pitch softball-ish. And then for whatever reason, the Astros just aren't good in extra innings. I mean,
I would say of late, Josh Hader's been pitching his damn tail off going the 9th and the 10th.
He's been really good lately.
He's been nails. I think baseball finds its way. Obviously, we haven't been good in one-run games or extra inning games. I would have liked the Manfred rule to be like starting the 12th.
12th, that's what I said this morning on the radio. I was like, if you want to do it during
10 and 11 normal 12th, then you can do.
If you want to do it in the 12th or the 13th, like because you don't want it to go into the 17, 18, 19th inning games that we've seen in the past, then give the teams 2 innings of straight up and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guys, if you don't get here by the 12th, we're putting the man on second base to try to speed it up. I understand that, but just do it straight out of the gate. I hate it.
It's just it's I
It's
don't know.
gimmicky.
It is gimmicky. It kind of just gets what's the word? When the Astros are struggling with runners in scoring position and then they put in an automatic runner in scoring position, I'm just like, oh fuck, this is chalked. Like it just feels like that. Granted, the Astros have been playing better in extra inning games, but I almost feel safer that the Astros can like scratch a run with no one on than actually with a runner on second. less than 0 outs. So hopefully it gets better. It needs to be better. The margins are shrunk, so we have to be better, obviously.
I'm coaching this weekend. I see a couple questions.
Trade to go. Yeah.
Yeah, my team is playing in the NIT this weekend. I'll be out there.
Where are you playing at?
I'm doxing myself. You kidding me?
Well, you just said the NIT.
Yeah, it's local. It's here in Houston.
No.
But
dude. Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not saying what ballpark.
All right. Well,
yeah. I'll be coaching this weekend. That's what I'll be doing on Memorial
let's
Day.
be very brief on this question. But Travis Collin asked, do you think the Astros should pick up Trevor
no
Bauer?
one's going to pick up.
No one
that
is
guy.
picking up
No one's picking up
Trevor
that guy.
Bauer.
No.
All right.
It's
Move
not
on.
happening.
Michael Richards. Taylor
Yes.
Scott is such an unsung hero.
Yes.
Oh,
Taylor Scott has been unbelievable.
He's the biggest. I have the biggest crush on Taylor Scott. Taylor, come on the podcast, please.
Yeah, dude. He's been unbelievable.
I said on the last Beyond the Diamond, you left the front office gambled on 2 things: in-house middle relief and their signings, and enough starters to get to the dog days for all the reinforcements to come.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the first one. They lost the gamble on the starting pitching, but they totally hit and won on the middle relief in-house. Seth Martinez has pitched his ass off.
Yep.
The Taylor Scott signing has been a godsend. Rafi Montero has been good since the first half of last year. Yes, losing Hector Neris sucks. Losing Phil Maton sucks. Losing Ryan Stanek sucks. But once again, you replace them in the aggregate. And Taylor Scott has been one of those guys that I trust in any high leverage situation. I trust in any big inning. And his baseball savant page is all red. I'm good. I love him.
All right.
Man, there's some really good questions flowing in.
From bubbly to babies on Instagram. What is going on with Yordan?
Yeah. The Yordan thing is kind of
weird.
500 people. It's crazy.
Say that
Thank you
again?
for everyone tuning in. 500 people. No pressure, dude.
Where's that at?
500 people, dude.
Thank
Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. The Yordan thing, I guess his chase rate is just up.
It's really
up.
It's definitely an eye thing, unless it's a mechanics thing.
Concerning because there are times
A
where
lot of concern out of you lately.
he watches 3 straight fastballs go by for strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. And then there's other at-bats where he swings at sliders in the other batter's box or balls down, balls above his hands. I don't know. Maybe it could be just one of those things where in baseball you hit a slump and you got to grind through it. I mean, the dude's going to hit regardless.
Yeah, his slump is league 800 OPS for everyone else. Like,
right.
But when he's bad, he's league average for everyone else. So obviously we're spoiled.
Right.
But yeah, I think his chase rate is. Let me pull up the savant. Like, it just feels like
you're a big baseball savant guy these days, huh?
He gives a lot, dude.
Yeah. What's his chase rate, dude? Tell me about his ex-WOBA percentage, too, please. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Why not? Hey, Chad, how's Dez's perm look today on the stream?
When he gets angry, when he starts lashing out.
Type in 1 for good, type in 1 for mid, and it could get better. Dez's one for good, 2 for mid.
Okay.
I think
it's not a perm. His chase rate he's at 19%. So looking at his career numbers, is there a career number on chase percentage?
Probably. Somebody in the national media the other day said that that Major League Baseball. Was it Mike Wilbon? Said that tracking exit velo is bad for baseball.
That's your take. That's you.
No, it's not. I said it's great.
That's you. That's
no.
You.
That's
all
not.
right. Here, I got it. 33.3% chase percentage for Yordan Alvarez this year, his highest of his career. 2023 is at 26.1. 2022, 24.8%. 2021, 26.3%.
So what's he at right now?
33.
33.
So
Okay,
he's
so
usually
that's-
around 25 to 27. He's at 33 right now.
Yeah, so maybe pressing a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would be pressing a little bit, but maybe obviously struggling at the plate right now. So maybe chasing to try to force things to happen. Chase rate is up, obviously, as Des just said from Baseball Savant. So
He'll figure it
know.
out.
Yeah.
Michael
he'll
Richards.
grind through it.
Thoughts on Yainer changing his stance behind the plate, giving pitchers a smaller
You think you
target?
watched Beyond the Diamond?
I'm not saying we or me changed it, but there's proof in the pudding that he's changed his stance catching
Yeah.
over the last week and a half. I mean, was it us? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but he looks extremely athletic back there. He looks extremely athletic, and I love it.
yeah.
All right.
I love it.
one of the last few topics
Mike, thank you, Michael.
we'll
Thank
touch
you.
on here.
I just see
this
the
is
Corey.
a-
Hold on, I see the Corey Jolks question.
Yeah, it's just
Shout out Corey Jolks.
there you go.
He's
This
been good in
another-
White Sox.
Yeah, he's killing
You
it.
see the
over
home run he robbed the other night?
Yeah, Rob Trevi.
Yeah.
After hitting a home run in that game, pretty sick.
Good for Corey Jolks, man,
Yeah.
getting playing time. I thought he was a big league player. I thought he was going to make the opening day roster again this year. For whatever reason, he didn't. He got DFA and then eventually traded to the White Sox, getting some playing time. So good for him, man.
Yeah,
Up there.
Belak found a landing spot.
Found a home with the Oakland Athletics.
As long as you're getting big league paychecks,
yeah, man.
keep fucking
Good for
going.
Corey Jolks. I liked him when he was on the Astros. I think he played well for the most part. Last year, obviously, ran into a slump and got sent back down. But I'm happy for him to find some playing time at the big league level.
All right, two topics left to touch on here. We've had a lot of questions about the rotation with Urquidy, Garcia coming back. This one kind of sums it up. Sousa says, "What happens when all your pitchers return from the IL and you have 9 starters?"
Good question. Okay.
So
The
next topic is trades.
Okay. Do we honestly think Lance is going to be back by September?
Yeah, I think he's back in August.
Okay.
I think Luis is July.
Luis is
first
earlier.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, Luis is looking on track for late June or late
Okay,
July.
so we're looking at September and hopefully October support from Lance McCullers Jr.
You're looking at fresh arms coming in
Yeah.
when tired arms are probably hitting that dead arm period.
It's going to be like the last month and a half of the season. It's going to basically be tryouts for who the playoff rotation is going to be.
Okay, so then
Competition
you,
breeds
You have
yeah.
a lot of you have a lot
so
of
then
Right.
you'll have to look at who's got options,
Well, I also think you're about to have
or you're going to have to trade a couple guys.
and I know I've been very free Ronell and free Blanco on this wrongful 10-game suspension. In the long run, and I think Ifestosser said it the best, this 10-game suspension is probably going to help his arm because he's going to hit his career highs
Yeah,
and
the threshold.
everything.
The innings threshold is going to be there.
Hunter could run up against it again this year.
Yep.
Obviously, Spencer's going to run up on career high numbers as well. So getting a Luis back, a Lance back, a Jose back, you'll be able to maintain some arms. And I think what the Astros have done so well over the last 7-8 years is they know how to wrinkle the starters in and hold guys back in a way where they're not tired and gassed. Because in 21, when we lost to the Braves, once Lance went down, we had no starter besides Zach Green could go past the third inning.
Yeah, you were
Everyone was
depleted.
just gassed or
Yeah.
they were just against their threshold. So you have an opportunity to kind of get a trade deadline, so to say, of hey, we acquired 2 arms.
Yeah.
You're getting that internally. So I think it's gonna be great for
you could go to
load management.
You could essentially go
Pause.
to like a 7-arm rotation or something,
You said, never mind.
I said load management.
Yeah, and
Pause.
then earlier you said something about banging. He's getting banged again, is what you said.
Yeah,
and I said pause, and I don't know why you have to go sexual every time we get on this podcast. It's kind of weird. It's concerning. It's concerning. I saw a lot of 2s up there about your.
There was a lot of
perm.
2s on the perm.
Lot of
It's not a perm.
So it's a good question that
Look how Josh
Audie
won't
had-
let us have fun, dude.
Yeah.
He's just directing
Yeah.
us.
One live
right.
show and all
One
of a
live
sudden,
show. Now we
he's a
got to go away from our
producer.
I would.
roots.
We could go for an hour and a half if y'all want.
No, I'm good.
No.
Man.
Okay, I'm
It's
just
Memorial
that's
Day
why I'm
weekend,
trying
dude.
to
Yeah, dude.
move this along.
I'm going to
Um,
Sweet Green and getting a
so
Yeah, I need to go to
how
steak
about
bowl, and
what
then
do
I'm
you
going to
think
go to Big
about
City and get me some wings.
what do you think about
Thanks for the invite.
convincing? What do you think about Lance in the pen?
Lance is going to be in the pen, I think.
I
Someone's
feel
gonna be
like
in the
at
pen.
least for this season that gives him the best opportunity to contribute and stay healthy.
And yeah, I agree. 100%. That's exactly where I was going to go with
I
it.
just
I
don't
think
know where he feels.
I think him in the bullpen gives him the best opportunity to stay healthy. And that is the biggest thing about Lance McCullers Jr. and his career. We know what kind of stuff he has when he's right. but what's happened to him damn near every season? He gets some sort of banged up, and we haven't seen him pitch since the World Series in 2022. Coming back, if he does come back in September, give us everything you got for September and then hopefully October, but out of the bullpen. And I'm good with that. But is he good with that? I think maybe this is what he might have to do. Pitch out of the bullpen, contribute there, have a reset in the offseason, and get ready for the next season back as a starter.
Yeah, I think you're going to have flexibility. I think Joe Espada is going to have another conversation where he's going to be like, I have all these arms, just like I have all these outfielders. What am I going to do? And look, injuries pop up. I'm not saying that an arm's going to go down, but if someone goes down, we have arms to slide in. So I think if it's the pin or if he's a starter, whatever it is, down the stretch, we're going to have fresh arms where other teams are either going to have to spend prospect capital to acquire arms. That's why I think the Seattle run that they're doing, and also the Phillies, their starters are going 7-8 innings. It feels like every other night. What is that going to look like in August? What is that going to look like in September? If the Astros play this right, and they do this 6-man,
the freshest arms,
we're going to have the freshest arms in the league down the stretch because every other team's acquiring arms. Those arms had run. These arms are fresh. So I think whatever you can do to find your starters and you know who you guys are, obviously before the playoff push, you have that. But also, if Lance has to go 3 against the Mariners in August, then so be it. Whatever it takes to win. The Astros have literally, obviously, the margins have shrunk. This is not breaking news, but we've seen this over the last 7 years of the Golden Age. We've seen the August Astros. Everyone watching knows the August Astros of usually about that time we have a 10-game lead. We see it go down to like 4 or 5, and then we turn it back on in September. This swap the August Astros with the April Astros of this year. You have to be perfect from here on out, but there's not a sense of concern anymore because they've eaten up this gap. So I think in August and September you have an opportunity to kind of get a little weird with it and flexible. If it's piggybacking, if it's a 6-man rotation, whatever it is, I think the Astros are really going to have the freshest set of arms.
I think
going into the playoff push.
I think the more you can utilize a 6-man, the better.
Yeah,
that I think that's the best way to do it. Now you're going to have decisions to make: who's going to go up, who's going to stay, things like that. Then you got to look at options.
I think that's
right. So, I think obviously, first of all, you're 22 and 28. You got to climb yourself back to 500, even though the division's wide open, and then you can focus on what the rotation might be later on down the road. But as we look forward and we expect the Astros to get back to 500, we expect them to get back into the division. The way to go is with a 6-man rotation. I think that just benefits everybody because we've seen it time in and time out of guys hitting their innings threshold, hitting their mark, and then the dead arm sets in and we see poor starts. And then you have a middle relief that's getting stretched out and it's getting burned. And then you got your back end and so forth and so on. And it's like a snowball effect, right? So a 6-man alleviates that for the most part.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop.
What you got?
On the college level, Lance Berkman has stepped down
already
after year 3
from HCU.
Yep, Houston Christian.
Wow.
Kendall Rogers breaking the news.
He wasn't there very long.
Yeah, 3 years.
All right, last question to kind of end this up because we touched on it a little bit earlier, but with the battle between potentially Chaz and Myers. Question from Adam Wynn. What do we do with McCormick? Trade or keep by the deadline? Is there a situation where one of the outfielders in our outfield depth gets traded at the deadline?
I think they're definitely going to get calls about him.
Official. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep. Jose Brady playing tonight for the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Per Michael Schwab.
So you have Myers, you have Jake, you have Jake, you have Chaz, you have potentially Will Perfito. Obviously, you have Tucker, you have Yordan, you have a Cabbage. Like there's tons of outfield depth.
I think you're running Tucker right, Chaz in center, Myers in center, and then you have Chaz in left with the big man DHing. You give it a month, and then you platoon out in left field. I don't know. I mean, obviously Yordan will play left, and that opens up the DH spot for someone else on a day off. But he's 2 games off an
coming off
IL stint, so he'll get his run. I don't think the Astros are in a position to trade an outfielder or arms on May 24th.
Yeah, for sure.
If we're at the deadline and we have a 2-3 game cushion, and there's a gap to be filled, okay, that could be a conversation then. But right now, and we saw how drunk the deadline got last year. The asking prices were insane. I mean, looking back, I think we kind of on the Verlander deal to get Verlander back, it felt like we were the only team that JV wanted to come to. So I think we negotiated against ourselves, and we probably gave up Clifford when we didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But the asking price, I'll tell you right now, the Astros were in for Josh Hader last year, and I thought it was going to happen. I was on Naps alert during our trade deadline.
They wanted him and Blake Snell. Jim Crane wanted Blake Snell
and Hader
and Josh Hader.
And the asking price was Clifford. It was Baez. It was obviously Gilbert.
Drew Gilbert.
It was Spencer. It was and like two major. It was this package was insane. So the deadline tends to get drunk, and we've seen Dana Brown be patient and sometimes not making moves the best move. And so it just kind of seems like we're gonna be able to, if we want to make a move, be at a higher like. We're not looking up for a deal. We'll be able to be like, hey, do we want this or do we want that?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it all dictates on what the Astros record is like and where they are in the division when it gets closer to that trade deadline. Yeah. Because I don't think they're going to be here, like meaning be sellers. I don't think that comes to fruition. But if there is a situation where those outfielders become valuable for trade, I think it'll be Chas McCormick. That will be the guy.
And I don't even think it's
going to be Jake. Dude, I think they are so high on Jake Myers that he's not going to be traded.
I will say this. Jeff drafted him. Click loved him.
Yeah.
And Dana right off the bat said, this is our everyday center fielder. Go earn it. That's 3 different GMs that have had the same mindset. And once again, plugging your show, Dana on Wednesday said like, hey, our R&D people before the season said, Jake Myers can go do this. And I think that was the first time Dana kind of openly spoke about the backside, like the wizard behind the curtains of the R&D department saying like, hey, we still are very, very high on Jake Myers. And he's shown them right. So I think when you have 3 GMs and arguably one of the greatest minds, a World Series winning GM and a now GM that, learned from one of the best in Atlanta and now here guiding the ship, have all been big on this guy. I don't think they're moving him at all.
No, Jake Myers not going to be moved.
Well, today's Friday. We should go get a drink after this. Where should we go?
You get a sweet tea. We go to Big City Wings, our sponsors today.
Because Josh doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink. Yeah. We'll get him some milk and get him some hot wings, and he'll
maybe
be just
a
good.
Turkey sandwich with just
a sweet tea special like they do the Michelobes.
Yeah, they do have $1.50 Michelobes at Big City Wings. Shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint, our presenting sponsor of all our shows. You know them. You know Sam. Tell them the Apollo Boys sent you. Obviously, you guys know all the specials. Going into the weekend, hit the gridiron special, get the crawfish, the beers, all of that, and go watch the Astros. Hopefully, take
game one.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm only focused on the next game. I'm not focused on the series. I'm just focused on
0-0
the next game. But yeah, that's Big City Wings. This is our first brand new. Should we do live shows every Friday?
I think, man,
this is fun.
I like doing
no, man, that number is still climbing.
That number's a lot. That's a lot of people watching.
I think
I'm sweating, dude. We turned off the AC because it's too loud.
All right,
I'm sweating.
Did you pay whoever Sosa Leah Kang is? Did you pay that person to troll me this entire fucking podcast?
You're getting so worked up.
I
don't know, but Sosa,
there's always got to be one.
Thank you, Sosa's coming to my honor, dude.
And you enabling him against your co-host doesn't.
You've been
do
trolling
shit.
me, dude.
That's what we do, Des.
Not a perm.
When I stop trolling
not a
you
perm.
about your perm, then you got a problem, dude.
Yeah.
Then you got an issue. When I start not ignoring,
it's not a perm.
It looks way less of a perm today, but it's still got perm-ish. Did you not put? You didn't put enough product in, did you?
Curly hair.
You didn't put enough product in, did you?
We're losing viewers because
who's our other sponsor?
That's all right.
Sweet Green. Download the app.
Great plug, Josh.
Download.
Great segue.
App.
Hey,
use the promo code.
Use
the promo code Apollo50. Get 50% off your mobile order.
I'm gonna do it for lunch today.
Yeah. Get the garlic caramelized steak bowl.
Their steak bowl's really damn
It's
good.
actually really
I had it the
fire.
other night.
It's
phenomenal.
Really good.
24-hour stream next week.
Yes.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. Come hang out.
Dez is gonna tase Josh. It's gonna be fantastic.
We're gonna be raising money for
if
charity.
we raise $5,000, I'm gonna tase Josh.
I said 10,000.
If we raise $10,000,
What did we?
do we have to get a permit for that?
Don't we
Or
always-
No, I'm serious. Get talk to your dad.
I don't know if the city of Houston could.
Think
I can
I've
use the
seen
city of
people
Houston.
do it on streams. You just have to like.
Don't we
Get a-
always raise over 5
We've raised over the last 5 years for charity. We raised over $5,000 every single time.
every single time, right?
So if we hit $10,000, Joshua said he's gonna get tased.
And we're doing a thing also. It's a 24-hour stream, but we are adding 1 minute to the stream for every $10 we raise. So we could be going to
it could be like a 48-hour stream. It could be like a 72-hour stream.
we'll see.
So we'll see. Tune in for that.
I'll be asleep, but I'll tune in.
Have a safe Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Don't
Go to Big City Wings.
go to Big City Wings. Go to Sweet Green, but also just be careful. Like don't.
Yeah,
do
man,
anything
be
dumb.
smart. Call
Don't
an
do
Uber.
anything dumb. Call an Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean just be smart.
Yeah.
We want to see you guys for the Wednesday 24-hour stream. So everyone be safe.
Thank you,
Take
everybody, for listening. This was our first Beyond the Diamond podcast live show, live from Apollo HQ. Brian Lima, Apollo Dez, Josh, producer Josh behind the camera. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Be safe out there. Call an Uber, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Go Stros.